1 study guide page 2 number 10. They give us a rectangle. You have to remember that a rectangle has 4 right angles and opposite side have the same length. Ask for the area and perimeter. Remember that the area of a rectangle is the base times the height, and the perimeter is just adding up all 4 sides. Okay. So first things first, I wrote down my 4 points A, B, C, and D. When you're talking about a quadrilateral, a 4-sided polygon, you always go in order when you're connecting them, A to B, B to C, and so on all the way around. Okay. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to make a sketch of the shape over here. Okay. So point A is at 1, 4. So that's right 1 up 4. Put a dot. That'll be point A. Point B is 3, 1. So I go right 3 and up 1. That'll be point B. Point C is at -3, -2. So that would be left 3, down 2. That would be point C. And then point D is at -5, 1. So from here, this was left 3, so I have to go left 5 and up 1. So a little further left, might be off the edge here, but left 5, up 1, that would be point D. Okay, so this is roughly a rectangle. Opposite sides would have the same length. Okay, so that would mean like you would connect A to B, okay, and then B would go to C. So this is clearly going to be a much longer side on the bottom and the top, kind of. And then C would go to D, and then D always goes back to A. Okay, so it's supposed to be a rectangle. These are supposed to be right angles in all 4 spots. And then this side would have the same length as this side, and the top would have the same length as the bottom. So to figure out how long each of these are, you don't have to do it 4 times, but you do have to find the length of this side and the length of this side. Okay, so I'm going to try to find the length of AB. I'm going to kind of do it off to the side over here. Okay, so A was at 1, 4, and B was at 3, 1. And so I want to know how long that side from A to B is. So I will do the same thing as I did for number 1. I want to know how far over and how far up we go. So this was over 1 at A, and this is over 3 at B, so this is a distance of 2. And then this was up 1, and that was up 4, so this is a distance of 3. So again, this is not a 2, 3, 4 triangle. That will not work in this case. But we do use the Pythagorean theorem, so we say 2 squared plus 3 squared is going to be c squared. 2 squared is 4, 3 squared is 9, equals c squared. And 4 plus 9 is 13, equals c squared. To undo squared, take a square root on both sides. So the square root of 13 equals c. You can't simplify the square root of 13. So this side, AB, you just leave it. You just say, well, that's just the square root of 13. That's how long it is. Okay, you could find it as a decimal, but I'm sure they want the answers left as square roots. We want to do the same thing to find the distance of the bottom here. So I'm going to do another one. I'll do it over here in this realm. So B was at 3, 1. And C, I think, was at -3, -2. I'm just going to double check that. C is at -3, -2. So that would be on this side graph, left 3 and down 2. So left 3, down 2, somewhere there-ish. So to go from B to C, this is our B, that's our C. It was 3 to the right and 3 to the left. So if I draw my triangle kind of this way, remember this is a right triangle, it was 3 left and 3 right, so that's tops a total of 6. And to go up, it was up 1 and down 2, so that's a total of 3. So 3 for this leg, 6 for that leg. We want to know the hypotenuse, which we'll call C. So this is going to be 3 squared plus 6 squared equals c squared. That'll be 9 plus 6 squared is 36 equals c squared. 9 plus 36 would be 45 equals c squared. So you take the square root on both sides. So square root of 45 is c. We could try to simplify the square root of 45. 45 would break up as 9 times 5. So I'm going to kind of do this off to the side right here. So square root of 45. That would be 9 times 5. And then 9 is 3 times 3. And square roots, we can pair up our 3's, pull a 3 out front. So 3 comes out front, 5 stays underneath. 3 root 5 is that bottom side. Okay, so now we know that going back to our original rectangle, we have square root of 13 on one side of it and 3 square root 5 on the other side of it. So that's the base and the height. So if we're looking for the area is base times height. So that would be, the base we said was 3 root 5 times root 13. That would be the base times the height. Now 5 and 13 you can actually multiply. They're both under the square root. So you would actually do that. 5 times 13. Okay, so let's see. 5 times 13 you can just do in the calculator for me. I'll try to do a quick mental calculation. 2 times 13 would be 26. So we'd have 26 and 26, which would be 52, plus another 13 would be 65. Okay, so this will be 3 root 65. So that is the area, 3 root 65. Okay, find the perimeter. You're adding up all four sides. So you have a root 13 across from a root 13, and you have 3 root 5 on top and bottom. Okay, so to find the perimeter, you're adding up root 13 and root 13. That's going to be 2 root 13s. Top and bottom, you're adding up a 3 root 5 plus a 3 root 5 on the top and on the bottom. So 3 root 5 plus 3 root 5, that's 6 root 5s. So total for the perimeter, trying to find a good spot, I think over here would be good. So for the perimeter, you're going to have 2 root 13s, and so plus, you're going to have 6 root 5s. Okay, so you can't actually add the 13 and the 5 different roots. So 2 root 13 plus 6 root 5.